let's go into the round table real quick. So this is a question from one of the audience members, and it's how to increase healing, how to increase healing abilities.
How to increase healing abilities? Well, first of all, I mean, training is always helpful. I mean, you work with people who can guide you. I really believe in mentors some way. I mean, we all have a natural ability, but people don't know how to direct it. So, I think when you work with a mentor, it's really important. I've always worked with a mentor. When I went to healing school, I actually went to 3 years of healing school. And that opened the door to understanding what the chakras are and what the auric centers are and how that affects us and how it relates to the body parts and how it connects to your emotions. I mean, then you get the whole full body connection. I mean, like we always talk about the 4 bodies, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. You connect all of it. And, in the Western medicine, allopathic, we always were just looking at the physical. We didn't connect the body and the mind and the spirit. And now we are. When you do energy work, I mean, I was a practical nurse, and I just enjoyed helping people and being of service. That was my first step. But then when I heard about energy work, I had to get into it because I felt the energy change my life.
So I'm going to go into. Can you give them like a specific thing they can do to change their energy?
To change their energy?
Like to what you do in energy work. I've never been an energy healer, so can you give them one thing they can do themselves to
well, grounding. A grounding exercise is really, really wonderful. I mean, if you visualize yourself and you put yourself in a sacred bubble of white light, and then just visualize roots of light going down into the earth. And then I always send it down to the giant golden crystal in the center of the earth, and you surround it. Wrap your crystalline roots around it, and then Mother Gaia will send up the energy through you, helps ground you. You'll see it go up through your body. I always send it out through the crown, and I send it up to the right off planet, and you connect with the star, which is your soul family and your higher consciousness, and that connects you. And then you're connected to the earth and to the spirit, so then you get to put yourself into a balance. So you're connected now, and then you can do work. Like if you don't feel comfortable, I send down the cosmic flush, which is like silvery light coming down through your body, comes right in through your crown. And it just, anything that feels uncomfortable, just allow it. I mean, energy work can be very simple. And it's a lot of, it can be imagination. I mean, just be guided by it. And the energy will just, anything that feels stuck, just see it flowing into that water, and then see it flow down those roots in your body, like right down your legs again and right down into the earth. And I always see a giant ring of light, a fiery light around that crystal, and it burns it up and transmutes it into light. So that starts the energy flowing in your body, because a lot of people don't even understand that grounding is important. I mean, it's right now with everything going on in the world, with everyone feeling so unsure, and although things are still in flux because there's so much going on in the world, that they need to be balanced. They need to put themselves into the grounding session.
Yeah, so grounding is excellent. So who wants to jump in there? Kirsten, Christelle.
Yes. I know what you're talking about energy healing. I have learned to do that myself. So it's really important that she emphasizes on the grounding piece, because spiritual workers, that they call themselves light workers, they tend to think about, just the ascension part, elevating your spirit and all of that. But we forgot that we are having a human experience, which is physical. So we need to be connected to our human as well. Our body and the things around us, it helps also to stay present, which is really important. Be present with what is happening and with your environment. That really helps you really be in abundance also, because if you're not enjoying the human experience, you're going to be missing out on a lot of things. So, and for you to enjoy it, you have to be present. There is power in being present to even, for the law of attraction that Kirsten was, sharing earlier. It's important for you to be present in order for you to even be able to manifest. By you being present, you have more control over what is happening in your head, what are you thinking, and you can more be aware of your emotions. So it's really important to not get stuck in your head trying to figure out what is happening out there, or just thinking of how to elevate your spirit, get out of this planet when we are still here. It's really important. The grounding part is really important for you to have the full human experience.
Mm-hmm. Kirsten, what do you got for us?
So yes, I love what Janet was saying. And for someone like me who is skeptical of this type of thing, you can go into this with a scattered mind, scattered energy, feeling so anxious. And you just do what Janet was saying. You visualize, breathing in and then sending energy down into the center earth. And then you breathe in and you pull that energy up and send it above. And then as you breathe in, you pull in the energy from the universe and send it down into the ground. And if you repeat that a few times, even the biggest skeptic, you will feel a shift in your energy. You'll feel a shift in your mind, the deep breathing plus the visualization. It has a way of integrating your head and your heart, your mind and your soul. And it connects you, and it just gets you out of that anxiety, that scatteredness. And it brings you into that centered space where you are grounded. And I swear anyone can feel immediate results by doing this.
Thank you. So I'm going to bring a different aspect to it again, which is, if you want to heal yourself or be a healer for others, I really believe in love and grace as really powerful healing. It heals yourself, giving yourself love and grace. But then when you have that love and grace for others, you become a healer. You're able to hear what they need. You're able to receive what they need you to hear without judgment or without trying to negate it. So I'm a big believer in love and grace in the healing process, and that makes you a conduit of healing, actually, because people will open up to you more because they know they don't feel the judgment. They feel the love. They feel the grace in who you are, and as a healer, it's like you're making everything that they say okay, and then you can move on from there. But I'm gonna say love and grace is a beautiful healing space, as long as also the grounding and all the energy work too, and all the chakra work, which is I got to clear my solar plexus all the time. I mean, it's always grinding. I'm like, I got to clear that up. Excuse me. But so Bonnie says I'm going to say a couple things. So Melissa says, welcome your own personal healing journey first. So that's and then also stay humble. Melissa says, welcome what stops your own humility. Become still in the heart and embody stillness. Yes. We used to have such fast-paced lives, and in LA we'd be on the freeway for an hour just to get to work, and we're always, doing. So I want to bring in this question before we get into Janet's interview, and that's Bonnie says, what if you were shut down by others so early in your childhood that you have no memory of what made you happy, excited, or energized as a child? So how would you recommend she taps into that, like reconnects to that? Anyone want to jump in?
Well, for me, I would say, an energy clearing will be the first thing to start with, because once you do that, it's going to open the doors and it's going to make her comfortable. I mean, you talk about love and grace, to be compassionate. All of us have gone through things in our lives, so we all can understand. Everyone has their points that they block, so that when you come into a session, that'll start opening up. The chakras can be very blocked, and that can cause so much that you can't see anything. So to open those up will help a lot. And then she may can touch in on what comes through. I mean, I always get messages and all that through the healing, which I'm sure everyone does. It's doing the work. And but it really it makes a difference if she gets that started, just to have a session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would just also add that yes, it's true to have a session for that, because you think you don't remember, but you do. I remember having a session with a lady, and during the session, we even went to the time where she was in her mother's womb. Who will think that we remember what we're thinking in our mother's womb? But she went there and she remembered who she was before picking up on her mother's energy and story. So it's just stuck somewhere hidden. For some reason, your brain shut it down for you to keep you safe. So as she was saying, Janet was saying, a session can help you go back there to that period before the shutdown, before you blocked and you stop feeling joyful and passionate. That before period is still there in your subconscious mind, and there is a way for you to access it and remember what made you happy as a child, what used to light you up, and what you were passionate about.
Kirsten, I'm sure you have a good take on this one.
Absolutely. So what Christelle was saying, that's so true, is that you do remember, but your subconscious mind created a block to try to block out the trauma that happened at that age. But when your mind creates a block, it doesn't just block out the trauma, it also blocks out anything else in that vicinity. So you can still go back and connect to your happiness. You just need to move through that block. And that's, energy healing, any type of session like that to help you deal with the trauma and connect back to what makes you happy. But that happiness is still there. And you can start by connecting to what makes you happy now. Some people don't even know, because we're so busy just getting caught up in day-to-day life that people come to me and they forget to have fun. They forget to take time for themselves. And when I ask them, when's the last time you had fun? People stop and they have to think about it. Yeah. They think about it for a long time and they say, you know what? I think like maybe 6 months ago, I went for a picnic or something. And it's like, well, why do you wonder why you're not happy? You're not taking time to create fun. You got to picture this garden that is your life. You're not going to get strawberries if you don't plant strawberries, right? So if you want happiness, you want love, you want confidence, you have to start planting these things and nourishing them every single day.
Yes, and I'm going to add to that because, Bonnie, I don't remember any of my childhood. So, like, everyone talks about things how I don't remember. Like, I have hardly any recollection of my childhood with other people, right? But when I was doing this work with meditation, I realized, when I thought of myself, I was always on a bike. I was always getting in trouble. I was always like going outside of the place, far away, like miles, like, right? I was doing things that like, and as I couldn't remember like instances or people or whatever, but I did remember things that I used to do. And then I started cultivating, like, oh. And then I started, oh my God, when I was young, I loved freedom. Oh my God, I loved riding my bike and having that wind in my hair. And then, like, I was so curious that I got into so much trouble, right? And everything was open to me, so open to me that I often got hurt. I broke my arm, got hit by a car, broke my jaw. Things that were like the things that were products of who I actually was as a person, like who I actually was born to be. Actually born as, sorry. So when I looked at that, I was like, oh my God, you know what? The essence of who I am is that I'm curious. I love freedom. I'm open. Like, I love adventure. I just love that movement, which is why I'm a dancer too, right? So you can start tapping into all of that too, because sometimes if I were to say, oh, I just don't remember my childhood at all, because I don't. But I do remember like little feelings or things that I did that produced results. And not just once, like I was always hurting myself because I was pushing the limits all the time. So that might help also. Just another little take on that. Really getting to like who you're born as, like who actually you're born as. So